So, what is a light worker really? I use the word light workers a lot because I consider myself one, and I run into a lot of people who are on that same frequency, that same timeline, where we are here to help bring more light to the darkness that this world seems to be living under, most people. You may have a different definition for it for yourself, but for me, a light worker is literally somebody who came here for this specific time during this transition, this awakening of the earth, this transition into a higher frequency, help the energies lift out of the darkness by being the light. So that all kind of relates to being a light worker. And when I started out with my, I don't know, I should call it healing, coaching, therapy business, there were not that many. And today, it is like there are so many people who are entering the path of being a healer, teacher, coach. Those seems to be the big ones, healer and coach. And for many, it's easy just to take some kind of a coaching training or a healer weekend, and then they want to put themselves out there. Now, I'm not making anybody wrong for that, because I know where this longing, this urge comes from. It's when we go through our own healing, we realize so much. We see ourselves as very different than we thought we were. We can start seeing the world changing because we are bringing a new consciousness to it. We start meeting more people who are on that same level. So there really is something very beautiful about it. And I certainly hope it continues. But in a way, it leaves the light workers who want to make this into a business, it can make it very challenging, because suddenly there is a ton of competition. When you learn these healing modalities, and of course you go through it yourself, so that when you sit in your your healing office or coaching practice, that you have done enough work on yourself that you feel confident and competent to help others move through a lot of their conditioned beliefs and expressions. But the more of us who come over to that side, that's why I want to call today's video, like, hey, are there too many of us now? And it's, of course, a crazy thing to say, because we cannot have too much light on the planet. We really need it. And I think everybody, even if you've just taken a weekend workshop, I so respect and honor that the willingness to, like, I want to help too. I want to help lift the frequencies also. And I think it is so beautiful, and it's so important that we really start doing it together, because we do not want to become each other's competitors. And there is something about that out there in the world now, in the marketing world, because when you take some healing training or coaching training, you normally don't learn how to market yourself, how to bring in all these people that you want to help heal or help move through some dark places or whatever. Now we need to go out and find them. So then we learn marketing, and we learn how to, create a website, and we learn specifically to word ourselves in a unique way so that we stand out. it wasn't that important to stand out when I started like it is today. It's almost like, you have to get the exact wording and you have to express why they should work with you and what is unique and special about you and yada yada. I've gone through the whole thing, and there is a lot of benefit to that because for me, it really has helped me clear in myself what it actually is that I do and what is it that wants to express itself. So I can totally appreciate all of us who are going through that. But now there are so many that we need to stand out in a way. And when, let's say, there are a billion of us now, I actually read something that it's like it's going so fast. It's like doubling every so often because so many people are tired of working in the old paradigm, in the matrix, and they want to get out of it. And then they find a way out through certain healing and coaching modalities and teaching modalities and spiritual practices. It's fantastic because that's what's supposed to happen. And even as I say that this moment, I suddenly get this glimpse that because so many of us have been doing it for so long, we actually have been helping to raise the frequencies. And that is why more and more people are turning towards that same energy. I had never thought of that before until it just dropped into my mind. So basically, I would say the reason that it is happening is because so many of us, and you know who you are if you've been doing this for many years, um, we have been doing a lot. We've been doing a ton to pave the way, to clear the darkness, to raise the frequency, to help show a new way of living and of being in relationship. So, hey, we can all tap ourselves on the back and realize we have been doing a lot. And even though we may not have worked with somebody one-on-one, there might be people out there in their little cubicle in the corporate world who have never heard of anything that many of us do, but something happens inside of them that they suddenly start realizing that something is off. This cannot be how it's supposed to be, that I live here, however many hours a day in this little cubicle and then go home, eat, watch TV, spend a little time with the family, but I'm too exhausted. I have to go to sleep to repeat it again next day. We've all heard that hamster wheel. In those situations, in those cubicles, people are beginning to realize something is off. And that is when they start turning to alternative ways, new ways of being. They may have heard about something. Maybe you shared something with somebody 10 years ago at a dinner table, and suddenly that seed's like, oh, what did he or she say? Let me contact them, or let me look online and see if I can find that, whatever it was. So I think it's really important that we get this, that we are not here to be in competition with each other as light workers. And I know you would agree with that, but we may all also look inside and say, I'm trying to stand out, I want to be more successful. That means I need to do this to attract more clients and all that stuff. What if that is also outdated now? And that's kind of what I want to get to today, because there was the phase where we learned it and started out. There weren't many of us, and then some became very successful and became very financially successful and had a big audience, a big platform. And then there were others who were just smaller and still trying to get by because they didn't want to go back to their old little cubicle. And many are struggling doing that. Many need to find other ways to pay their bills. So what if we are now through that phase? And I'm just kind of hypothesizing right now because it just is coming. What if we have now passed the phase where we need to be our own little individual, successful healer, teacher, coach with our huge platform? And because we have a huge platform, that means that others having less, that is still part of the old paradigm, the way I see it right now. What I'm sensing is because there are so many of us now, it's not like the early ones, they needed to reach the masses because there was only one here, one there, or 10 here and 10 there. So there was a need to reach a lot of people, writing books and doing podcasts and whatnot. And let's all continue doing that as long as it feels alive and wonderful to do it. But what if, and you can just consider this and, let me know in the comments if this might be true for you. Maybe we do not need to reach these huge masses. Maybe we do not need to buy into that belief that we need to make 5, 6, 7-figure incomes in order to be successful, in order to live this amazing life that we deserve. Maybe that was a phase and we're coming towards the end of that. Of course, there's overlap on all of it. And now we can connect with our immediate environment. Still do your newsletters, YouTubes. I will keep doing it because I have so much fun. Do what you do, but maybe it's more concentrating, since there are so many of us. Maybe we can just concentrate more on smaller groups and create our own little bubble, our own little cocoon, where together we do create some potent energy because we are bringing in even more light in these smaller groups. Could be 2, 5, 10, 20, maybe 100, but in a way where we are in connection with each other. I think groups of 8 or 12 is really nice because it can still be intimate and it doesn't just become this like widespread thing where nobody's really connected with each other. So I want to just put out today that if it is true, and it seems to be, that there are so many light workers now, and it's not too many, let's bring in everybody. I mean, if we all take that path and become light workers, not because we need to make a successful business out of it, but because we're bringing in something new, and that will inform us how we continue in this new energy, this higher frequency, instead of trying to use the old paradigm methods and means to bring in, the new energies. Like, no, maybe we need to let go of that too now. And now we can just feel into like, okay, well, I have this smaller group that I keep connecting with, or I feel good reaching out to these people because I know there's a resonance, there's an opening. And then we can start doing it, whether you want to do it as a business or just as an offering, to start connecting with each other, because that's what I hear a lot of people. They just want connection. They want community. They want people where they can relate to each other in a new way, in a deep way. So this is what I want to just put out today, that we are definitely not too many. Every single light worker is welcome. And many light workers who are just starting out, they may still need a group setting to start sprouting and growing their wings. And others may already have big wings, so we can get together and really do some deep work, which I have done with some groups that I've started lately, which has been so beautiful. We just come in and we just really focus on opening up to these higher frequencies, to the divine energies, to come in and dissolve us. So we're not getting in the way anymore. And then it can just come in and do it, and that will reach even more people. Where in another cubicle on the other side of the planet, somebody goes like, huh, and we will never ever know that people all around the world may be impacted by the sacred and secret work that we may do in smaller groups. And that's kind of the beauty of it, isn't it? It's like it becomes very impersonal. We just follow, we invite in who's drawn in, and then we start creating whatever it is that feels alive in us. What kind of a group setting would you like to be in with others? Just think about like what would feel really good if it wasn't about making 5-6 figure income, if it wasn't about being successful or famous or getting on Oprah show, which was something that they talked about back when I started. It's like that was kind of it. But maybe it's not, right? Maybe that's not what the new energies are about. So I wonder if you have some people you can think of. It may be a neighbor, it may be somebody on the other side of the world, but you can connect with, and you can start maybe just having a Zoom conversation where both can feel heard. Or you might join with some of your friends who live close by and say, hey, let's meet for tea and let's talk. There's something that's really alive in me that I would love to share with some of my closer friends. Would you like to come over? So these are just little suggestions from me. But I want to just invite you to feel in your heart, like if you are identifying as a light worker, and if you can disidentify with needing to make a lot of money or even a little money, it's something about letting that energy start flowing, the energy that you want to bring to the earth. If you can do it without that block that says, I need to make money, if you can just let yourself follow that energy of what you really would like to create, and then see what happens. It won't be in vain, because I know something beautiful will come of it. Because when we start giving, when we start letting the energies flow of this inner divinity, it brings with it what it wants to create. But if we stay here waiting till there's, we make money or we have a podium or whatever, we're not letting it flow. So that's my suggestion for today. And if it resonates, please let me know. If you have other ideas, please comment below. I would love to hear it. And of course, which I always forget to say, almost always, please like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to stay connected here, because I'm offering this here. I'm not making 5 or 6 or 7 figure incomes. I am letting it flow here to see if anybody resonates with that. If you don't, there's probably tons of channels that you might resonate with more. But if you resonate with this one, stay connected and share yourself. I think sharing ourselves that's when we start opening up and letting it out, letting the cat out of the bag, letting the divine out of the prison. And then it can go and do what it came here to do. Okay, so let's give that a try.